Tom, how are you finding Melbourne?
Yeah, we've obviously came down Saturday and we're down here for the week. We're sticking the same routine, but it's good for a change up, and good for this time of the year. We do things a little bit differently, but we're still sticking to our same routine. So yeah, it's been good so far.
What's the idea behind it all? How did it sort of come about?
Obviously we had 6-day break and back-to-back Etihad Stadium games, so we thought we'll save on the flight and get together and obviously spend the week together, which is good for team bonding anyway. So we thought we'd trial it and see how we go. And obviously it's disappointing it was on the weekend, but we're looking forward to bounce back.
Is it a bit like a school camp?
No, there's no. It's not that strict. We're still allowed to go for a walk in night and things like that. So we're trying to keep it normal as possible and not make it a school camp. But so I think boys have enjoyed it so far.
I imagine the water would have been a little bit different out in Phillip Bay to the Gold Coast water that you're used to.
Yeah, the boys aren't diving in as quickly as we have up there, but yeah, it's good. We've been to St Kilda Sea Bars whenever we come down to Melbourne, so it's pretty familiar anyway.
Is it good to be a part of the sort of the footy bubble in Melbourne?
Yeah, that's right. We obviously it's out of limelight up there, so it's good to immerse ourselves in the footy bubble and for the boys to understand what goes on down here.
Can we talk about the Essendon game, as much as probably might not want to? I mean, what was the response to that, just the Bombers' second win of the season?
Yeah, we were very disappointed. We had a heavy review yesterday, and we, as players, we were really disappointed, as the coaches were as well, and we didn't play up to our standards that we've been setting over the last few months, and we were really disappointed. So we've had a big focus review yesterday, and we're going to move on, look forward to Collingwood, and try to right the wrongs.
The coach, Rocket, said that there were a lot of players playing as individuals in that match. I mean, how disappointing is it that we can't get the sort of game plan sort of stuff right this late in the season?
Yeah, it's very disappointing, especially after the week before. We just come up short against GWS, and we felt we executed the game plan really well. I think for some reason we didn't play as a team. We were a bit disjointed the way we defended and attacked, so which is really disappointed, and we hope it's just an aberration. We move on. As I said, had a heavy review yesterday, and we'll look forward to Collingwood.
Did Rocket kind of peel the paint off the walls afterwards? He looked pretty angry as he was walking through the rooms on the TV.
Yeah, I think he's pretty direct in what he said, and it was well deserved. We didn't play up to the standard that we've been setting this year, so it was disappointing. And we obviously take full ownership of the loss, and we'll move on to Collingwood.
For you, standing in as captain while Gaz is out, how are you finding it so far?
Yeah, Stephen May and I are sharing the captaincy, so I'm enjoying it. It's little obviously extra added responsibility, which I'm learning along the way, and obviously disappointed with the weekend. But yeah, it's a good challenge, and be a good challenge this week.
Would you be ready to take it on full time next year if Gaz decided that he wanted to hand it over, or if the club decided that you were the man to do it?
I think so far I've enjoyed the role as captaincy, along with Stephen May, stepping up without Gary. I've enjoyed that. Obviously not thinking too much about next year, but I feel like I've improved during the season in leadership as I was vice captain. So start of the year I don't think I was ready for it, but I feel like I'm becoming more comfortable in the role.
Has this opportunity to get away given you a chance to sort of hone your leadership being around the boys so much?
Yeah, I think it's good for everyone. A bit of team bonding, and obviously we're a close-knit group anyway, but to get away with each other and spend that little bit extra with each other is great for us, so we're really enjoying the time down here.
Jonathan Brown called you the best player in the game a couple of weeks ago. How did you react to that?
Yeah, I think, as I said, I think Brandy's got one eye on the centre forward role, and but yeah, obviously it was very humbling from him. I respect him so highly, but yeah, I think there's quite a few ahead of me at this stage.
I mean, just to have your name up there on the goal kicking table alongside the likes of Kennedy and Franklin at the moment, are you pinching yourself a bit at how far you've come with your footy?
Yeah, I felt like every year I've improved that little bit, so I'm looking forward to continue improving. Obviously Kennedy and Buddy Franklin are great, the champions of the game. So yeah, it's obviously you like to see my name up alongside them, but yeah, they're going very well. They're a fair way ahead of me.
Tom, I know there's still a couple of games left this season, but is there a strong belief with yourself and amongst the group that there can be a rapid improvement next year, given everyone's fit and firing?
Yeah, definitely. We've got full confidence in Rocket, and we know that he's delivering the game plan that we need to play best footy, and we've made really big strides this year. Sort of doesn't reflect that on the scoreboard. 7 wins. We'd obviously at the start of the year we're aiming for a lot higher, but once we feel like we get those guys back in the midfield, especially, we'll shoot up and have rapid improvement, we think.
As someone who's played with Gary Ablett for a few years now, what can he get back to, given his injuries and age, I suppose?
Well, I think his last month he was really building before he got injured, so it was quite cruel and untimely that he did get injured. And we know we can get back to his best, and of whether that's forward and midfield, a bit more of both. Which obviously it'd be nice if he can spend a bit more time forward because he'd be so damaging up there.
Would you like to have him roving off you?
I think he'll clear me out of it. He'll have us. No, yeah, he'd be great. He's obviously played a fair bit of forward at Geelong, and he's played a lot in the midfield up here because we've had to, but we feel like we're getting a lot of depth there that we can afford to have him rotating forward.
And how much do you concern yourself with players such as Jager and Dion who are out of contract with what they're going to do next year?
Yeah, we got full confidence that the club's heading in the right direction, and they'll buy into it. Obviously, they've got decisions to make in the upcoming weeks and months, and we're confident in what we're doing.
Do you have a direct role as a player and as a leader in trying to convince them to hang around, those two?
Yeah, obviously we'll have chats and give my opinions of where the club's heading, and obviously we chat regularly with the guys what we can improve on, what we're doing well. So it's no difference to normal, but obviously we'll have a bit more chats towards the back end.
You've built up Sorry.
I was going to say, just on Jager, are you staggered the sort of numbers are being thrown around in terms of salaries, given how little football he's played?
I'm not too sure if you're reading too much into the salaries. We know he's a really good player. He hasn't played for the last 2 years, so maybe harder to get a gauge on salaries. But yeah, I'm a player. I'm not really into salaries. That's for other guys in the job to do that.
Tom, the club's obviously spent a number of years building a really good group of young players. Are you confident that even if one or two of those names decided they didn't want to stay at the club, that you've got the depth coming through to cover that?
Yeah, definitely. We've seen a number of guys step up. Alex Exton, Took Mill had a great game on the weekend, so there's a lot of depth coming through, and we know if we lose one or two players, which is the nature of the business, we're going to lose people at the end of the year, and we'll be able to cover them.
You've got the day off in the best city in the world tomorrow. Have you got any sightseeing planned?
No, any recommendations?
Oh, there's a lot of good coffees around.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be heading out to Dandenong anytime.